Hey, what's up guys? My name's Andrea. I'm going to make my World Domination 4 vlog today. To be honest, I really didn't want to make one. I can't stand the sound of my own voice and I talk really fast, so I'm going to try to slow it down as slow as I can for you guys to kind of understand where I'm coming from here. I just want to start by saying, like, I'm not some random girl. I'm not going to give you dizzy comments. You're not going to see my boobs. Like, this isn't that kind of video. I actually do know what I'm talking about. I've been a fan of battle rap for 5 years. I watch Don't Flop. I watch a lot of Smack URL. Of course, King of the Dot, 'cause I'm a Canadian girl. Gotta support what I know. I just kind of want to give you guys a background that, this isn't going to be some random kind of trying to get attention by making a video. That's not what this is about. I'm strictly here to talk bars and battles. Um, so yeah, I just want to start by saying thank you to the staff at King of the Dot for putting together such an amazing card. You guys did an amazing job with being on tour and everything across Canada. You guys still managed to put down a sick card. So thank you from the fans. We really appreciate the work that you guys put in. Especially for the Canadian the scene. It's very hard to get Canadian hip hop going, and you guys have really done an amazing thing here. So, congrats to you, happy 5th anniversary, and I can't wait to, attend the event. So I'm going to just start by saying that I'm not going to talk about all the battles because there is 16. It could take all day. I do talk fast, like I said, but not that fast. So I'm just going to talk about the ones that I'm most excited about, or the ones that I feel that I can drop some knowledge on. So I'm just going to start with Holohan versus Charlie Clips. This battle was actually supposed to take place at Vengeance 2. I was actually there. This is the card thing from it. I was disappointed that Holohan couldn't go. This was my first live King of the Dot event. I think that everybody should experience an event live. I think it's way different than watching it just on YouTube, like you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff and you get to actually interact with a lot of the battle rappers, which is really awesome. So I would recommend that everybody get out to see one, and if you can't come to this event, make sure you make a next one. So yeah, I was a little disappointed that Holohan couldn't show up, but I mean, life happens. I know he actually wanted to be there, so I know he didn't do it on purpose or anything like that. So I'm really excited to see this battle actually happen, and I'm really excited that they were able to rebook it. While at the battle, Charlie Clips did spit a few lines that he had. I'm hoping that he doesn't use the same lines again against Holohan when he comes. I will remember them. I have one of those memories where I just remember everything, so I'll be a little slightly disappointed that with all the time he's had to re-prepare that he couldn't rewrite new lines. So hopefully he does do that. Charlie Clips is a really good card, like, he's a good crowd controller. Like, they really follow him, and he has really good flow and breathing control. So I wouldn't count him out, but I am rooting for Holohan based on the fact that he does want his comeback, and I really expect that he's going to bring his A game. The only downfall to Holohan is that sometimes he gets so emotionally invested into what he's saying that a lot of the times his voice can crack or break and his breathing control kind of gets lost. So it can come out sounding really aggressive, and the crowd kind of gets lost in what he's saying. So I'm hoping that he practices his breathing control a little bit better, so the crowd can actually follow what he's saying and keep up with him. If he can do that, I can guarantee you that he will come, and he will come prepared, and he's going to be willing to, take the win. So hopefully he can take that. Maybe a little biased being Canadian saying that I want Holohan to win, but I am a fan of him. I've watched him for a long time, and I'm looking for his comeback, so I'm hoping this is what it is for him. I want to talk a little bit about Shotgun Suge and Sharon. Shotgun Suge and Sharon, I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit shocked at first when that battle came out. I would have thought the staff would have gave him not so much a top tier opponent, but not to say that Shotgun Suge isn't a top tier opponent, but more of a popular opponent, I guess I could say. Like, I would expect that they would have gotten him a bigger name, maybe. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized where the staff was coming from with this. They really want Sharon to be eligible for a top tier contender, like to be, go for a title. But I think they're a little bit worried about Sharon interacting with URL cats that have a lot of gun bars and stuff like that. With Sharon being, the skinny, nerdy white kid, it will be a little bit hard for him to control those kind of lines. So I think this was a little bit of a challenge for Sharon to see how he would do against an opponent like that, a really heavy hitter, So I think Sharon will surprise people. I think he's ready for this. I think he knows exactly what he has to do, and I think that Shotgun should come with his own body bag, because he will definitely be going home in it. Corey's been on fire. He literally has one of the top freestyle games in the world, even, I would say. His rebuttals are unmatchable. He's been on fire for the last year doing the 106 and Park Freestyle Friday Championship. He also has been on tour with Red and Meth. He's just been on fire this year, so I'm really pulling for Sharon to take that win. I want to touch a little bit on Definition versus PH, formerly known as Pumpkinhead. I would consider Pumpkinhead to be an OG of battle rap, I guess you could say. He's been around for a really long time. He's really talented. I would say that this is sort of like his triumphant return. Definition, I wouldn't count him out either. He is a really well-rounded battle rapper from Don't Flop. He's been to World Dom events before and really showed improved. He's a really comedic guy, really funny. I can see this going really well for him. I'm not sure who's gonna win, but I'm really hoping that Definition can take this. It would probably do huge things for him in his career for that. I'm really just hoping that this battle doesn't turn into a battle of country versus country. I mean, we've all heard British jokes, we've all heard USA jokes. I'm just hoping that they don't just stick to those as their full fire for the battle. I'd like to see it get a little bit more personal, get a little bit more intimate. I don't want to see strictly British jokes or strictly Canadian jokes. So I'm okay with a couple lines like that, but really I would like to see some more schemes and more wordplay than that. So hopefully they both bring fire. I think it will be a really great battle. I think a lot of people are underestimating Duffy, and I think that he'll come and he'll show what he's really about. So I'm really hoping that he wins that one. I do want to touch a little bit on the main event. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it strictly for the fact that it is really controversial. It's really a matter of opinion who you want to win. It's really whether you're an Arcane fan or not. I think they both have a surmountable amount of pressure on them right now to either win or lose. With Arcane, his fans, he's got a lot to prove to, and he's also got a lot to prove to the people that don't really care for him. With the last thing that happened with buying bars, with the disaster battle and everything, I'm thinking that people are going to scrutinize everything that comes out of his mouth. They're going to see if it's ghost written or if they've heard those lines before. So he's got to be very careful that he doesn't stumble upon something that's been said before. So that's a lot of pressure for Arcane. I think that he has a very, very good track record. I mean, he's got one of the best resumes in battle rap. I think that he has the potential to keep the chain. So I was really impressed with how cool he kept it during that whole Diz performance and all that stuff that happened. He managed to keep his cool really well. So props to him for doing that. I hope he's ready for this. I know Pat will be ready for this. I think he's got a lot of pressure on himself as well because of the fact that his fans have always sort of thought that he deserved this, the chain, and Pat never wanted the chain, so now that he's actually going for it, I think his fans sort of expect it to just go to him, almost like Arcane should just hand it over, as an obligation. So I find that kind of funny, but at the same time, I get it. A lot of people are really, when they're Pat Stay's fans, they're very heavy into him, so I do get that. So that's a lot of pressure on Pat to win this because people are really looking forward to him taking it and bringing it back to the East Coast. So good luck to Pat and good luck to Arcane. It's going to be an amazing battle regardless. I hope that the crowd is respectful for you guys during your performance, and best of luck to the both of you. The best man wins, right? I do want to touch a little bit on Disaster and Arsenal. I don't want to spend too much time on that either. Because, like I said, it is a matter of opinion. They've already battled before, so this is sort of like a rematch. Diz is notorious for sort of being frustrated over time management. He gets mad when other people get to go further into their rounds than he does. He doesn't like being cut off. He likes to finish what he's saying before the time runs out. So, Organic's going to have his hand full with this battle, making sure that they all maintain their time lots and stay within their time frame because I know Arsenal is notorious for going over his time limit. So that can, lead to frustration on Diz's part, which could, detriment his performance. I am excited to see this battle, however, because Diz last time he battled in Canada, I honestly was embarrassed for the fact of being Canadian that he had to deal with a crowd that was that biased and that disrespectful to a battler. I don't think anybody deserves to be booed ever and the booing and the back talking that was going on during his performance was absolutely disrespectful. And as a Canadian, I really do apologize to Diz for that, because his second round was dope and nobody could hear him because they were all booing. So I'm really hoping that the audience is more respectful to him this time. I can see why Diz lost his cool, but I'm really hoping that he manages to keep his cool this time, and I hope the crowd is, well and respected for him, so he can actually show Canada what he's about, because, I think he lost a lot of fans through Canada from that last performance. I'm hoping that he can gain some back. So yeah, I'm looking to Diz to win that. I think he's got a lot to prove, so I think he's really going to come with fire. I want to talk about the two battles that I'm most excited for. These are just personal things about it. I don't know why I'm most excited for these. I can't tell you. It's just, to me, they're phenomenal matchups. I'm really looking forward to a one battle that's not really being talked about in the social media aspect very much right now, which I find really shocking, because to me, like, this is like a battle that is of epic proportions and has the potential to even be better than the main event, I would say. I'm talking about Thesaurus versus Looney. Looney is, he just battled Diz recently, in his own country, and the show there that they put on, oh my god, it was like, it was like a crazy show. They had a stage, and there was thousands of people in attendance. That video has over 1 million views. Like, they go hard in his country for him. They're big Looney supporters. So I'm a little nervous for him to perform in Canada, just based on the fact that he's not in his home country, so he doesn't have the home crowd advantage like he did last time. Also, he tends to use some bilingual lines that might go over a lot of people's heads, seeing as we don't all, know that language, so hopefully he's able to keep control of that. This, to me, will go to the Thesaurus, because he's so, the Thesaurus is so well gifted when it comes to his schemes and his wordplay. I mean, he's incredible with his Scribble Jam championships and everything that he's won. He's really a deserving opponent. For Looney, I think that they both will have very good lines and words play, so I am really excited for this battle. I think it's being underestimated right now by people. I think it's not getting the hype that it deserves. I think that it's great for Thesaurus to be up against a battler like Looney, because it will get him some international views that he much deserves. So hopefully it'll gain him some fans over on that side of the sea. So I'm very proud of him for getting this opportunity to get those views up. So shout out to the Thesaurus. Hopefully you take this home for the win, and yeah, so I think it will go really well. The other battle that other than Thesaurus, that I'm really excited for is Bonnie Godiva versus Young Goddess. That battle, I couldn't believe that you guys got that booked. I've been a Young Goddess fan for years. I thought she quit battle rap, so I was, really shocked when they were able to get this battle booked. So Bonnie Godiva is a very good female battle rapper. I have mad respect for any females that battle. It's a very male-dominated world in that field, in that aspect. So if any girl can get out there and spit just like a man, I have mad respect for that. Bonnie Godiva is one of my favorites for the fact that sometimes it can come off awkward for girls to battle rap, because it is so hardcore and so gangster. Sometimes the schemes and the wordplay and the gun bars can make it sound so unfeminine. So it's very hard to maintain a feminine image and be able to spit fire. Bonnie Godiva is exactly that. She looks like a Barbie, but she can spit that heat just like any other guy or any other person in the battlefield. So I am excited to see this battle. Bonnie Godiva has been on a roll lately. She's taken out a lot of top-tier opponents. Looney Divine was her most recent. She killed her with one round. I think she used a Mary J line in her first round that I think probably took the whole thing. It got Looney so confumbled that she actually couldn't finish her own rounds. So shout out to Bonnie for that battle. That was an incredible one. Young Goddess, I wouldn't doubt her. She's going to come with that heat and that fire, and Bonnie's just got to be prepared to fire back. So as long as Bonnie can keep up with Young Goddess's style, I think that she could win this. I need Bonnie to be a little bit more aggressive, as much as it isn't her style. I think that that's what she's going to need to do in order to beat Goddess. I think she's going to need to get up in her face and show her, that she can be that aggressive type of person as well. So I'm really hoping for Bonnie Godiva. She's such a sweet girl, and I'm really excited to meet her. I'm excited to see her perform. So I think this is going to be a big stepping stone in her career. She has a lot of potential to go very far. So yeah, that's a huge battle. I'm hoping for Bonnie for that one. I just want to touch down a little bit on the Roan versus Real Deal battle. I was actually really excited to see this come into fruition because both of those guys are one of my, two of my favorite battle rappers. The first time I saw them both perform live was at Vengeance 2. Real Deal surprised me. Roan, I had no idea who he was. Never seen him perform, never seen him battle before, until he walked out with Freshco and they started at it. And I have to admit that I was blown away by his schemes and his wordplay and his flow. Just everything was amazing to me. He had a line in there actually about, he had a wordplay on cosmetics that's actually been used in several different bars and several different battles over the last few months. So shout out to Roan for that dope line. Apparently it was dope enough for everybody to copy. So I'm excited mostly to see this battle for the fact that Real Deal has been doing so well, just burning off Ural Cats on the 106 and Park Freestyle Friday thing. I'm a little nervous for him for the sheer fact that it is a lot of battles going on for him right now. So it's either, going to go one way or the other for him. Some battlers work better under pressure when they have a lot of writing to do. Other battles crack under the pressure and, they struggle to write really quick and they don't bring their best material. So from what I remember and what I know about Real Deal, he really does work good under pressure. So I'm hoping that he'll take this. But I don't discount Roan and his wordplay and his bars. Like he's got fire too. So it could go either way. I am excited to see the outcome of that. I don't want to spend too much time talking about any other battles because, like I said, I haven't watched very many of the battle rappers. They are from other countries, so I may not be as well versed with them, and I don't want to give a biased opinion on that, having not known both opponents. So I may make a video later on about, more of the battles, but I do want to touch down on one battle specifically for Day 3. Day 3 is going to be an event at Area Nightclub. There's going to be, the Ground Zero battles, which are the up-and-comers, and there's also going to be the Drunken Freestyle Tourney, you can't miss that. It also gives the fans an opportunity to meet and greet with the battlers that were performing in Day 1 and Day 2. It's going to be a really great time for everybody to just kind of get together and get to know each other and the staff and support each other. So if you're a fan of battle rap, that would definitely be a day that you would definitely want to attend. Don't count that day out just because they are Ground Zero battles. There'll be a lot of other stuff going on there. I want to talk a little bit about a battler named Lex Luthor. He's a Staten Island rapper. He's actually recently moved to Canada. He has been dropping battles probably, I would say, once every 2 months, if not more. He takes battles in all different leagues. His most recent battle was against a cat named Diego Diablo on an iBattle, and some of the lines that kid used in that battle just was shocking to me. I was surprised. Lex has a lot of fans, so I was really surprised that they didn't put him on the Day 1 or Day 2 card and that they gave him a Ground Zero battle, because to me, Lex is above Ground Zero now. He's worked his way through Ground Zero, and I think that he's ready for a more worthy opponent. I feel for Lex because, he spits such heavy lines against opponents that almost don't deserve it, so it almost becomes wasted material. So I really think that we need to start getting him some more top tier opponents that he can take down. I could see, him taking out Dirtbag Dan. I could see him going up against Roan. Like, this kid has, an insurmountable amount of skill. So I think you shouldn't downplay him. He's a little bit of an underdog, but he really is aggressive. He's been working hard, and he is proof that no matter how much you battle, it doesn't reflect badly against you. That the more practice, the better. He's really come from, way up, and I seen him perform live against, who was he? Oh my god, I don't even remember. I seen him battle, though, at Vengeance 2, and the battler, that I think that he took it, but I think that the other guy that rapped, he sort of had schemes and bars that were more directed to the audience as opposed to actually his opponent. So in that sense, it is battle rap. It's not rapping. We don't rap to an audience, we rap to our opponent. So I think that in that sense, Lex should have won that battle, even though the other guy had some dope lines. They weren't directed towards Lex, so I didn't think that was a fair loss. So I think you guys should check him out on YouTube, Lex Luthor. Give him a chance, give him a listen, and I hope that this will, help everybody see that he does deserve to come out of Ground Zero. I believe he's battling somebody named The Kid from Australia. That should help get him some international views as well. So props to Lex, shout out to you and all your hard work that you've been putting in, man. You have fans for days, So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Again, thank you to the staff for putting together such an amazing card. Shout out to Bishop Agranti. Shout out to Organic Hip Hop. Shout out to King Fly. Can't wait to see everybody at the event. Hopefully the crowd is good and, you know, behaves well. No booing, guys. And if you see me at the event and you're standing beside me, please be quiet. I'm there to listen to bars, not you, bitch. See you guys.